Have you ever felt like you're screaming into the void? Like you're putting all your energy into something, shouting for a result, but all you get back is silence. It's frustrating, right? You feel unheard, unseen, and completely powerless. This feeling isn't new. In fact, it's at the heart of one of the most dramatic stories ever told, a showdown that took place on a mountain thousands of years ago. Picture this, Mount Carmel. On one side, you have a lone prophet named Elijah. On the other side, a massive crowd of 850 prophets of a false god named Baal. The nation was at a crossroads, unsure of who to follow. So Elijah proposed a challenge, a divine contest to prove who the one true God really was. The rules were simple. Each side would prepare a sacrifice on an altar, but no one was allowed to light the fire. They would call on their God, and the God who answered with fire from heaven would be declared the true God. The prophets of Baal went first. From morning until noon, they cried out, "O Baal, answer us." They danced, they chanted, they worked themselves into a frenzy around their altar. The sun climbed higher in the sky, beating down on them, but there was no voice, no answer, no fire, nothing. Elijah, watching this spectacle, couldn't resist a little bit of holy sarcasm. He taunted them, "Shout louder. Perhaps your God is deep in thought, or maybe he's busy or traveling, or maybe he's just asleep and you need to wake him up." This only made them more frantic. They shouted even louder. They started cutting themselves with swords and spears, a desperate and painful ritual, hoping their blood would get Baal's attention. They prophesied and raved all afternoon, a chaotic, exhausting display. But as evening approached, the result was the same, absolute silence. The sky remained empty. Their God was powerless. All their noise, all their effort, all their pain. It was for nothing. Then it was Elijah's turn. He didn't rush. He didn't shout. His actions were calm, deliberate, and full of meaning. First, he went to the altar of the Lord, which had been torn down and neglected. He repaired it, taking 12 stones, one for each of the tribes of Israel, reminding the people of their unified identity and their covenant with God. He wasn't just building an altar. He was rebuilding a relationship. He was calling the nation back to its roots. Next, he arranged the wood and the sacrifice. Then he did something that seemed completely counterintuitive, almost crazy. He ordered the people to drench the entire altar with water. Not just once, but 3 times. They poured 12 large jars of water over the sacrifice, the wood, and the stones, until the water filled the trench. He had dug around the altar. There was no way any hidden spark could survive this. He was making it humanly impossible for a fire to start, removing all doubt that what was about to happen could only be a divine act. Everything was soaked. The sun was beginning to set. The crowd watched, holding their breath. The chaos of the day had settled into a quiet anticipation. Elijah stepped forward. He didn't scream or dance. He simply prayed. It was a short, powerful, and direct prayer. He said, "Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel and that I am your servant and have done all these things. At your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again." His prayer wasn't about him. It was about God's glory and about turning the people's hearts back to truth. And in that moment, the fire of the Lord fell from heaven. It wasn't just a little flame. It was an all-consuming blaze that vaporized everything: the sacrifice, the wood, the 12 stones of the altar, the soil, and even all the water in the trench. It was a decisive, undeniable display of absolute power. When the people saw it, they fell on their faces. The debate was over. The confusion was gone. A single, unified cry rose from the crowd: "The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God." The truth had been revealed not through human noise and desperation, but through divine power. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Sometimes we think the more we strive, the louder we shout, the more we perform, the more likely we are to get a response. We exhaust ourselves trying to force a result, trying to manufacture our own fire. But Elijah shows us a different way. He didn't win with volume. He won with alignment. He repaired the altar. He trusted in God's promises, and he made his request about God's glory. His confidence wasn't in his own ability to shout, but in God's ability to answer. Real faith isn't about making a lot of noise. It's about building a solid foundation on truth, and then trusting that the power will show up. When your faith is genuine, when your heart is aligned with the right purpose, you don't have to force the fire. It falls. So if you feel like you're screaming into the void, maybe it's time to stop shouting and start building. Repair your altar, pour out your heart with sincere faith, and watch what happens. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that explores these timeless truths. See you in the next video.